is a better choice. My one and only station.
DBS Radio. DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now. This morning's headlines: primary school teachers in Dominica encouraged to embrace education reform, which starts in September. St. Lucia's Ministry of Education says over 120 schools have been repaired or refurbished ahead of the new academic year. And news from the international scene: U.S. appeals court rules that many of Donald Trump's global tariffs are illegal. Details of the morning news right after this.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digital TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Major Morning News. My name is Curtis Matthew. Education Minister Octavia Alfred has called on primary school principals to embrace education reform. Her call came at a meeting for primary school principals at the PSU building on Friday ahead of the new academic year.
Let's embrace the concept of reform. It's not a process of fixing a broken system. It's a review, a visitation to restructure the system and some process and content to respond to the needs of our country. We are at a point where we must continue to embrace what makes us truly Dominicans while we prepare to respond to our challenges and equip ourselves to fit in the global reality of ICT and AI. The changes will run from small adjustment in specific areas to reinstating specific areas to large-scale transformation of entire systems and content areas. The goal is to ensure that every child succeeds and is prepared for the future. There are some critical routines and practices which have faded away at our schools, and they must be revamped.
And that's the minister responsible for education, Octavia Alfred. The minister said education reform will begin in the new academic year at the primary schools level. She says education reform should not be seen as action which is difficult for schools to adopt.
The Education Act mandates that all schools have functioning PTA. A very high percentage of our primary schools do not have structured functioning PTA. We have to fix that early o'clock. The Education Act also mandates that all schools have student councils. So therefore, the Visual Performing Arts Showcase Day will return so that on the last Thursday afternoon of the month for those who take Friday, or the last Friday afternoon of the month for those who are at school on Friday, bring the children together and let them role play the hen and the fox and have a show. That is what it's about. Build some masters of ceremony, build some songsters, build some people with prose and poetry. Assembly needs to set the tone for the day. National anthem and the pledge must be part of assembly. So we're going back. What I'm telling you, not anything new, it's just some things that we have moved away from that we are going back and get them where they are. The civics curriculum is ready and will be available for delivery at all primary schools. There was a 3-page or a 4-page document for community service when I was a teacher that spelled out all the hours that grade K up to Form 5 supposed to cover during their time. So this one will not just be for primary school, it will be for primary and secondary school because everybody is supposed to do community service.
And that's the minister responsible for education, Octavia Alfred. Other news this morning: double murder accused Jonathan Lear and Robert Snyder Jr. have been committed to stand trial at the High Court for the murder of Echo Resort owners Daniel Langlois and Dominic Marchand. The two U.S. nationals are accused of killing the French-Canadian couple between November 29, 2023 and December 2, 2023 at Bois Cotlet in Soufrière. The decision was handed down by Chief Magistrate Kande Karet George on Friday following the paper committal of the matter. Ronaldo Luke Pascal spoke to the Director of Public Prosecutions, Shema Dalrymple, following the decision of the court.
Well, today was scheduled for the ruling on a no case submission and also committal. The ruling on the no case submission was that there is sufficient evidence for the matter to proceed to committal, and both accused have been committed to the High Court to the next criminal session for trial for the 2 murders.
Okay, and how confident is the state moving forward with this case?
We are very confident in this matter. We know we have a real prospect of obtaining a conviction. The evidence is clear as in relation to the both accused having committed this double murders. Also, we expect to indict by September.
And that's Director of Public Prosecutions, Shema Dalrymple, speaking to journalist Ronaldo Luke Pascal. The voter confirmation process in Dominica will now begin on October 15, 2025. Parliament amended the Registration of Electors Act in Parliament on Friday to give the Electoral Commission more time to prepare for the voter confirmation process.
The current September 1st, 2025 to August 31st, 2026 confirmation period was declared by the Electoral Commission through Statutory Rule and Order SRO number 16 of 2025. The Electoral Commission has advised that the current September 1st commencement date is no longer feasible, and the Commission has therefore decided to revise the timetable for the commencement of the confirmation process. As a consequence of the current commencement date no longer being feasible, it has become necessary to return to this Honourable House to secure for the Commission the lawful authority to alter the current commencement date and substitute an alternative commencement date. Specifically, this bill seeks to amend Section 50, subsection 1 of the Registration of Electors Act to provide the Electoral Commission with the unambiguous legislative authority to alter the commencement date of the confirmation period. I am advised that the Commission is satisfied that it has the necessary equipment and resources to complete the outstanding requirements to enable commencement of the confirmation process and the other aspects of the electoral modernization process.
Attorney General Levi Peter. Meantime, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the Electoral Commission has been given the resources to implement the voter confirmation process.
I should stress that I have been advised that equipment required for the confirmation process has been delivered to the Electoral Commission, and centers have been identified as the confirmation centers across Dominica. I believe that by the time they spoke to us, they had not located a confirmation center in Woodfordale, and my understanding is that they would have identified a building in Woodfordale that they could rent out to do that. Contract was signed yesterday, and I believe so now they have a complete covering of all 21 constituencies across Dominica. And the Commission is currently installing equipment and finalizing staffing arrangements. I believe, based on what they said to us, the contracts will be signed this week, going to next week, of all of the confirmation officers and the necessary staffing that they need to effect those amendments. And therefore, September will be used for training of staff and also a massive public education, which the law that was passed in Parliament on March 19 mandates the Commission to engage in public education and public sensitizations.
And that's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Parliamentary representative for the Marigot constituency, Anthony Charles, says he supports the amendment to the Registration of Electors Act to give the Electoral Commission more time to implement the voter confirmation process.
I recommend the Electoral Commission for asking for some extension to get this right, because we need to get this right. This is an ongoing process, and I'd like to commend the Electoral Commission for asking for more time to get this right. But we need to get it right, because it has been an annoyance in the public. Electoral, this electoral, that is fraud, is this. So we like to support this bill, this extension, because we need to get it right. And we need to make the public aware of what is actually going on. But as leaders, as PALREP, as party leaders, people in the public figures, don't mislead the people. Because the barefoot man will take it and run. So we need to just commend the Electoral Commission on this, the AG General and they say the CAPSEC. We need to get it right, start the process, and I'll talk about the Constitution. If the Prime Minister get up tomorrow, feel to call the election. So I know you can call it tomorrow, you can call it whenever. You call it the Constitution. So rest assured, nobody should be worrying about when election called. We just need to start this. So when this is started, any help, you all need it, Marigot. It's an AG, you can call on me.
And that's the parliamentary representative for the Marigot constituency, Anthony Charles. Ambulance services in Roseau and surrounding areas are to improve with the procurement of a new $300,000 ambulance. The ambulance was presented to the Fire and Ambulance Department on Friday.
This ambulance we have gotten here today, which is before your eyes today, is the most sophisticated ambulance we have received. It has everything that the emergency response officers will require to actually stabilize and to treat a patient who may be involved in an accident or any issue where, of course, that person has to be responded to and taken to the hospital. It's a cost of $301,000. We are in also communication with the company who has actually manufactured this thing, the ambulance from scratch. And because we think that's the way forward to enhance our fleet and to ensure that the equipment that the ambulances have is actually fit contemporary times. That is not to say that what we have do not have the basics that we need, but this one is a step higher. And during my discussion with the fire chief, he's in discussion with the company, and we're looking at maybe a reduced cost for the additional ones that we're looking at. In the next 2 weeks, we'll have at least 7 ambulances, which means that every health district will be equipped with an ambulance.
Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore, Kadas band Midnight Groovers has received a boost ahead of the 25th edition of the World Creole Music Festival with a $3,000 contribution from businessman Ibrahim Bruhim.
At this moment, I would like to say it's been a great pleasure to be associated with the Midnight Groovers band of Grand Bay. It's a band that I have tremendous respect and appreciation for over the 30, 40 years that they have been in existence. And I've really followed them. I mean, I've appreciated them. Why? Because they have given me a music that I have cherished throughout my life, and I've never given it up, and I will continue giving them the support. And so as a result, knowing that they're going to be once again be on the World Creole Music Festival band stage, I've decided, not on behalf of the sign man, this is Ibrahim Bruhim doing that because it's a love I have, and so I've decided to make a contribution towards the Groovers for their preparation for the Creole Festival, because I know it's not easy at times, you know, gathering funds, and it's one that I have no regrets doing. And so Reynold, you being the rep, the manager, whatever it is, you know, I want to make this contribution to the band, hoping that it will make a real good contribution to them, you know, for the preparation of the World Creole Music Festival 2025.
And that's businessman Ibrahim Brohim. Manager of the Midnight Groovers Band, Reynold Alcendo, says the gesture is timely.
On behalf of the legends Chubby, Philip Mack, and Marcel Comac, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for this great gesture that you have just made to the Midnight Groovers Band. Of course, I know you have the Midnight Groovers at heart. You are a big fanatic of Midnight Groovers. You have always been present, be it Creole Festival, be it Creole in the Park, be in the street of Roseau, be it Wadix Jam, Papa Creole, or whichever Creole had beat. You have always been present and have always been contributing towards the band. I know you love that music, I know you love that band, and I know you're not going to give up like that. And I know you want Chubby and Con, the Midnight Groovers, to continue. Your contribution here will not go unnoticed. You will see some of it on stage for this year's World Creole Music Festival. Of course, I can let you know from now that some of it will go towards the band's outfit on stage, and hopefully the rest will go towards the preparation in terms of probably some guitar strings for Co and the other guitarists, and transportation here, there, and back, and whatever else it can take us to. We will use it to the best of our ability.
And that's the manager of the Midnight Groovers band, Reynold Alcenda. Well, the Midnight Groovers will perform on night one of this year's festival. With more than 120 schools repaired or refurbished over the summer break, Education Minister Sean Edwards says St. Lucia is ready to welcome students back to the classrooms next week. The Education Minister says he's very excited about the ensuing academic year. He said, with the scale of upgrade completed ahead of the reopening, they are ensuring that they create an enabling environment where teacher and student can interface in an environment conducive for learning. Finally, this morning, a U.S. appeals court has ruled that most tariffs issued by the U.S. President Donald Trump are illegal, setting up a potential legal showdown. The ruling affects Trump's reciprocal tariffs imposed on most countries around the world, as well as other tariffs slapped on China, Mexico, and Canada. In a decision yesterday, the U.S. Court of Appeal for the Federal Circuit rejected Trump's argument that the tariffs were permitted under an Emergency Economic Powers Act, calling them invalid and contrary to law. It is 16 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. That's a look at the DBS Major Morning News. Let's take a look at the headlines again. Primary school principals in Dominica encouraged to embrace education reform, which starts in September 2025. St. Lucia's Ministry of Education says over 120 schools have been repaired or refurbished ahead of the new academic year. And news from the international scene, U.S. Appeals Court rules that many of Donald Trump's global tariffs are illegal. Well, that's a look at the DBS Major Morning News. Don't go away, the sports report comes up shortly.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from NBD.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your mobile banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Let's begin the DBS Morning Sports Report with boxing news. President of the Dominica Boxing Association, Job Joseph, says the stage is set for this evening's boxing extravaganza. The event takes place at the Massac Indoor Facility. A number of regional boxers will be on the island for the event.
About the boxing, I want to say that we're looking good. We're looking that we are ready for Saturday night. And looking like Saturday night going to be a big, big show. There is one surprise that we don't want to let go of the bag. But there is someone that will be boxing Saturday night. You need to come to see that person. I mean, that person is a known figure in Dominica. Probably is one of the biggest musicians on the island. People don't know he's a boxer. And he'll be fighting Saturday night also. Officially, when we talk about it, it was $45 a night. $45 for the night to come in, ringside or not ringside, $45. Mm-hmm. But I'm not interested right now in making a profit. I'm interested in getting Dominicans excited and knowing what boxing is about. So I cut it down from $45 off it. So it's $10. If you come early, you get ringside. If you come late, you go on the stand. Nothing about ringside, X price, and everybody's $10. That's why I want the place to be packed and full.
And that's the president of the Dominica Boxing Association, Job Joseph. Well, who is that entertainer who will make an appearance at the boxing stage tonight? Who is he? Is he Asa Banton or one of these artists in Dominica? We'll have to find out at the Massac Indoor facility later today. Some football news now. Bath Estate FC head coach Michael Joseph says the club is taking it one game at a time as they look to return to the DFA Premier League. Bath Estate, who were relegated last season, are undefeated so far in the Division 1 League. They are on one win away from securing first place in their zone as teams near the start of the round of 16. Bath Estate FC pounded Kensborough FC 7-0 last night. Coach Joseph says the team is looking good.
Yeah, our goal was to win. We're not chasing goals again because of what happened last weekend. So we're more trying to see how the team can gel and prepare for the knockout stages.
All right, as you look to prepare for the knockout stages, Bath Estate relegated last season, undefeated now in the Division 1 League. What are your thoughts on this team as you get closer to the round of 16?
We practically have almost the same team of last year. I think during the Premier season last year, we had some unfortunate results, especially giving up some goals very late in games. But our core basically remain the same, and they're pushing, they're doing the work, and we're seeing the results on the field.
I know it's Division 1, but nonetheless, you can still see a change in the attitude of the players compared to what we saw in the Premier League when you guys got relegated. What do you think has been the reason for that sort of turnaround?
I would like to think we did some work with them. Also, the relegation in a sense would be motivation for you to want to go back up. It's a bit like it's an embarrassment, to be honest. And then they made up their mind that they want to go back up right away because at the end of the day, Gavin, if promotion is not secured right away, it kind of leaves you behind, you know.
All right. How confident are you that you can cross the hurdle undefeated, like we said? You have maybe one more game left in the round robin phase, and then it's off to the knockouts.
Yeah, we have one more game against Valley in the round robin, so we need a win in our last game to secure our first place in the Southern group, and we're just taking it one game at a time. So after Valley, then we focus on our round of 16 match.
And that's the Bath Estate FC head coach, Michael Joseph. Let's turn the attention now to cricket news. Nicky P and Colin Monroe got half centuries as the Trinbago Knight Riders registered another win in the Republic Bank CPL, beating the Barbados Royals last night. Barbados Royals made 178 for 6 in their 20 overs batting first. Sheffield Rutherford hit 45 from 22 balls, Kadima Lane 41 and Rovman Powell 31 from 15. Andre Russell bagged 3 for 17. Mohamed Amir took 2 for 35. Sunil Narayan conceded only 16 in his 4 overs. The Knight Riders in reply were powered by Colin Monroe and Nicholas Puran. Both got half centuries, leading the Knight Riders to the win. Monroe hit 67. Puran made 65 not out. The Knight Riders made 179 for 3 in 17.5 overs to win by 7 wickets. With the win, the Knight Riders also moved to the top of the points table. It will be a quick turnaround for the Knight Riders as they face the Guyana Amazon Warriors as that tournament continues tonight. That game gets underway at 7 o'clock. The Dominica Amateur Athletic Association is rating its Summer Kids program as a major success. The program concluded Friday with the staging of the Kiddies Athletics Festival at Lindo Park in Goodwill. Executive member of the Dominica Athletics Association, Felicia Antoine, says development at the grassroots is important.
The program went extremely well, in my opinion. We had 5 clubs. We had the Westmore Rangers in Marigot area, Aspirers in the north, in Portsmouth, Striders in town, Athons Athletics, and the Kalinago Eagles in the Kalinago area. So overall, it was a great program. We have an estimated 150 children here today, coming here today. The importance of this Kids Athletics program is to really build up the skill of the children from the grassroots level, build up their coordination and basic movements needed for basic daily living, and if they decide to go into any other sport, this is the foundation for any other sport. We run, we jump, we throw, and we develop their values and their belief skills. So everything, it's a complete package. So we are excited to put this and host this every summer. And we're actually doing it twice a year. So in Kids Athletics Day, sometime in May, and then of course in the summer as well. So we look forward to continuing our events, which will be the summer program, the primary school store, and then obviously the Kids Athletic Festivals twice a year, as always. So we look forward to bringing this every year annually so that the kids can have fun all year round.
Executive member of the Dominica Athletics Association, Felicien Antoine. Tropical Shipping Dominica is hoping its new partnership with the Aspirers Athletics Club will go a long way towards helping the club meet its objectives. The company on Friday made a significant financial contribution to the club. Manager at Tropical Shipping Dominica, Tahira Musgrave Robinson, says the company is committed to helping to create an environment for the young people to succeed.
Tropical Shipping is committed to giving back to the communities that we serve. Today we are doing one of our handovers to the Aspires Sports Club from Portsmouth, headed by Mr. Nabi Wallace. We value giving back to our communities, and we value the youth of our communities, and we see this as a great opportunity to give back, and not just give back in a small way, but in a big way, as we see this contribution to greatly help improve the sporting community and help develop the minds of the students. We know how important sports is to the development of youth and discipline. And at Tropical, this contribution today is significant for us because we see we see ahead what the value the contribution is going to bring to the community and Dominica on a whole.
And that's the manager at Tropical Shipping Dominica, Tahira Musgrave Robinson. Meantime, coach of the Aspirers Athletics Club, Nabi Wally, says the club is thankful for the support.
And we are so very thankful to be standing here today with the Tropical Shipping. They are coming on board and supporting our program. Our program starts from age 7 all the way up. And we are working with children across the run, jump, and throw. But we don't just want to develop them physically. We'd also like to help them in their social lives and their social skills. And so we are very happy that we have a corporate sponsor coming on board, seeing the work that we are doing and coming on board to assist us. And so we say, from Aspirers to everybody out Tropical Shipping, we thank you so very much.
And that's the coach of the Aspirers Athletics Club, Nabi Wallace. And some volleyball news finally this morning. Dominica is gearing up for the men's ECVA Final 4 volleyball tournament. The competition, which features the top 4 ranked volleyball teams within the ECVA, as the Eastern Caribbean Volleyball Association, is set for September in Antigua. Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Volleyball Association, Sidney John, says a number of players are in training and the team is expected to be named very soon.
Yes, we have the ECPA Final 4 tournament that the top 4 teams, the top 4 ranked teams in the ECPA qualified for that tournament, and it will be in Antigua from September 19th to 21st. So Dominica will come up against Grenada, St. Lucia, and the host Antigua and Barbuda. Right now we have about 22 young men training for that team, and within the next few weeks we expect to have that final team being selected and put on the final tune and travel to Antigua, hopefully to win gold. We trust our preparation, we trust our skill set, and we know it's just a matter of fine-tuning everything and showing up on the day and performing.
And that's the Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Volleyball Association, Sidney John. Joseph Fadul, there is big boxing tonight at the Massac Indoor Facility. I know of your involvement. You will be there as one of the top officials. I know you will be doing your thing. There's a lot being said about you this week in terms of your involvement in training people and so on. So congratulations for that. But I'm intrigued by what I heard from Job Joseph this morning, that one of the foremost Dominican entertainers will be making an appearance at the boxing event this evening. I'm thinking, could it be Asa Banton? Could it be Shirley? What about Benji from the Triple K? Who is that individual who is going to be making an impact on the boxing tonight? Job Joseph said it's a Dominican entertainer. We don't know him as a boxer, but in fact, he is a boxer. We will have to find out a little later on when that big boxing extravaganza goes to the Massac Indoor Facility tonight from 7 o'clock. Well, that's a look at the DBS Morning News and Sports. We'll be back at 1:15 with a major news package. 1:15 on behalf of the News and Sports Department and our link person, Joseph Fadul. Curtis Matthew saying good morning.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from MBD.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your more banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Let's bring you this morning's edition of the DBS Radio Insert of the Package, brought to you compliments of the wonderful folks at A&A Low Price Center.
A&A Low Price Center in the village of Calabishi offers the best prices for the freshest products ever. One-stop convenient shopping at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi. For your foods, your everyday needs, snacks, liquor, dry goods, and more. Just about everything located in the flat of Calabishi, directly in the center of the village. Come to A&A Low Price Center on the highway in Calabishi. A&A Low Price Center is family owned and operated. It is fully computerized, VAT compliant, low toll, credit card and top-up capabilities. Stop at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi today or call 445-7655. Drop us an email at aanalowprice@gmail.com. A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit us today. Just walk in and be happy you did.
And this morning's insert of the package will come from the morning news, where Education Minister Octavia Alfred has called on primary school principals to embrace education reform. Her call came at a meeting for primary school principals at the PSU on Friday, ahead of the new academic year. While the minister said education reform will begin in the new academic year at the primary school level, she says education reform should not be seen as action which is difficult for schools to support.
The Education Act mandates that all schools have functioning PTA. A very high percentage of our primary schools do not have structured functioning PTA. We have to fix that early o'clock. The Education Act also mandates that all schools have student councils. So therefore, the Visual Performing Arts Showcase Day will return, so that on the last Thursday afternoon of the month, for those who take Friday,